Okay, let's turn to President Trump.
Oh my gosh.
He sat down with, I think the person he probably speaks to the most on corporate TV, Maria Bartiromo, to talk about his so-called ceasefire in Gaza.
And yet, as soon as you left, Hamas executed 7 people, and then they went on to execute 30 more.
Yeah.
Do you believe they really will disarm?
Well, they promised they would. They said they would. It's down that they would. Now, they said they were gang members, et cetera, But these are very violent people. This is a very violent part of the world. Nobody's seen violence like this. If we have to, we'll disarm
the
them.
U.S.?
Well, whether it's me or the U.S. or it's, a proxy, could be Israel, with our backing, we won't have boots on the ground. There's no reason to.
In the past.
I love that. So we may have to disarm them. And by we, Trump means either himself, the U.S. or Israel, but no boots on the ground. I like the idea of him going in there with like stilettos or something. No boots. I don't know. Hush puppies. But I like the way he's so openly equating Israel and the U.S., We could be him, Israel, or the U.S., one of the three, yeah.
Or a proxy, too. He uses which is just so colonial, but I love that that's how he sees the world. And it's true. He does have proxies, and that's who he would actually send in. The Egyptian army or, because that's who the U.S. funds. Like Egypt receives a lot of money in U.S. military aid to keep it as a proxy.
Right.
But the idea of Trump going in by himself, commando style,
I do like
to take on Hamas. I mean, that's a I'd watch that action movie.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
I'm not sure. I don't think he would fare too well, but.
But the question, about Hamas executing people, they're executing people who they say were collaborators with the Israel occupation, and people who are stealing aid and looting it and selling it for huge profits. That's who they claim they were going after. And this is what happens in situations of colonial rule, is like collaborators or alleged collaborators get killed. I mean, if you collaborate with the people who are destroying your territory, your land, that's what happens. And if Trump is going to turn around now and be surprised at this, it's just like, this is what happens after 2 years of genocide, is like after there's somewhat of an end, or, if this really is the end of it, this is what happens. Like when people are retake control. So no one should be surprised.
Also, regardless of, I think Mouin spoke to this really well, that, there should be trials. I'm not a fan. He's not a fan of extrajudicial justice and executions, but come on. Are we honestly supposed to think that the United States is upset about the execution of Palestinians? We were funding and arming Israel while they were executing them every day.
100%. Yeah.
It's laughable that we actually think that, we better go back in there, or we better, undo the ceasefire or send in a proxy, because we won't sit by while innocent Palestinians are killed.
It's just the hypocrisy. Like, to call it hypocrisy just doesn't even do it justice, after we've helped Israel kill tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. And also, by the way, while we're currently executing people on boats in the Caribbean, who are accused of, we say, being drug smugglers, but actually the more evidence comes out, the more these people that are being murdered in the high seas have nothing to do with drug smuggling. And even if they did, they wouldn't deserve to be executed. They deserve to be put on trial. But the problem with that in Gaza is we've destroyed all the infrastructure, and what theoretical court could people even be tried in Gaza were they to be put on trial?
Right. Yeah. It's so laughable. It's kind of like, did you see the story about a literal shark that washed up on the shore in Gaza that people from Gaza ate? I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah.
But, okay. Yeah. Literally, just in terms of the rank least believable hypocrisy ever, the Israeli foreign minister put that up as an example of Palestinian cruelty, that they pretended that they killed the whale. They didn't. It wasn't a whale. It was a shark. It was already on this shore. It was either dead or going to die. Impossible to save it. But imagine if they had killed a whale, which they didn't. The idea that Israel is upset about the life of a whale, but not the people who they've been literally starving.
Yeah, and also just on this narrow topic of like the beach, what happens
Right.
when Palestinian fishers go out to try to catch fish? They get massacred by Israeli gunboats all the time. And this has been going on for years, like way before October 7th.
Yes.
So look, on any single issue, you can find just endless hypocrisy from Israel and the US, just endless hypocrisy in the most evil, sadistic way.
And also going back to the disarming agreement, they didn't agree. They agreed to the first phase of the deal, right? The release of Israeli and Palestinian hostages, and Israel withdrawing to an agreed upon line, which is still occupying 53% of Gaza. But they haven't agreed to the disarmament part yet.
That is true. They never agreed to disarm. Yeah. They've talked about maybe handing over some of their heavier weapons to the extent they even have those, but like light weapons, like guns to defend themselves against invading Israeli soldiers, or God forbid, Israeli settlers, if Israel decides to bring the settlers back to Gaza. No, Hamas has not agreed, because if you look at what's happening in the West Bank, and we're gonna have more on this later in the show, former Youth Lydia's guest, Jasper Nathaniel, who's an independent journalist, he's in the West Bank. He's just documented another act of terror by settlers against the people there with the Israeli army support. So anyone in Gaza knows what it's like in the occupied West Bank. You think they're going to give up even their light weapons to defend themselves should not only Israeli soldiers come into their communities or what's left of them, but Israeli settlers one day too? I mean, it's a non-starter.
Yeah. But again, it's talk to us about executions when you don't kill like over 30 people on boats.
Okay, here's more Trump talking about his long-term vision for Gaza, which still sounds a lot like ethnic cleansing.
Could be developed, and you said you wanted to develop it.
Well,
do you have plans for that?
Not me as an individual.
The U.S.
I liked it as like freedom play.
Not me as an individual. I mean, like Steve Witkoff, my Middle East peace envoy, and Jared Kushner, my son-in-law. I mean, them and their partners making a lot of money by stealing Palestinian land in Gaza. Not me personally, just my extended family and close business.
He's not gonna, Well, also, he's not going to rebuild it with his own hands, Aaron.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's busy on that solo commando raid fighting Hamas.
Exactly. Right.
So
Right.
He can only do so much. Yes.
Yeah.
Place you call it Freedom Place, and we would get all of the people.
Great job, Trump. So inventive, calling it the Freedom Place. Like, what? Like he's just taking like freedom fries, which they started calling French fries after France didn't take part in the Iraq War. And he's just like, it's such a lazy term for his like Gaza dystopia, Freedom Place. Like, can you put a little bit more effort into your like apocalyptic vision?
I think he's really good at giving people names when he's criticizing them.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know how to do them in a positive way.
He doesn't. No, exactly.
Yeah, he needs to work on that. But
he loses the enthusiasm.
Exactly.
He's not mocking someone. He's not insulting someone.
He's like phoning it in. Yeah.
It's like call it the Freedom Place. Let's just take freedom fries, take out fries, add place.
But he actually sounds like a little kid who's like coming up with an idea in real time, and he kind of likes it. Let's just watch him saying that. It's really kind of hilarious.
I liked it as like Freedom Place. You call it Freedom Place. And we would get all of the people that live there into decent homes throughout the region. If you look, Egypt has a lot of land. Jordan has a lot of land, right next door. A lot of countries have a lot of land.
So there you go. He's talking about ethnic cleansing. He's talking about fulfilling the long-term Zionist vision of pushing Palestinians out.
Yeah.
Ethnic cleansing.
Yeah.
Egypt has a lot of land. Jordan has a lot of land. I mean, look, this has been like the racist Zionist talking point going back to 1948. Like, the Arabs have all this land. Like, why do they have to live here? Like, there already is a Palestinian state, Jordan, Egypt, whatever. Just go there. Totally denying that people have lived there for hundreds and hundreds of years, and this is their land. They have a deep connection to it. Unlike the European Jews of Israel, who are colonialists. That's just. But so Trump is just trying to fulfill their vision.
Yeah, I like the idea that he's actually a pan-Arabist.
So I had an initial vision that we would get them. Look at Gaza. I mean, there's nothing standing. The whole thing it's all rubble. So it's not too hard to top that.
So there you go. I mean, as long as it's not rubble, it'll be impressive. He'll have topped the status quo. And I mean, it's true, it's all rubble, but he's just openly turning that into a kind of a point of comparison for his real estate ventures. It's unbelievable.
And just the casual way he can just talk about how Gaza's all rubble, like with a little chuckle,
right?
As if it's like a throwaway joke, not an entire society that's been destroyed with our support. You know? And if you think of the expression, like every life is a universe, I mean,
right.
You can't even fathom how many lives have been destroyed by us. Like with, this wouldn't have happened without Biden and his refusal to stop the genocide. And then Trump too. I mean, Trump helped Israel break the ceasefire and continue the extermination campaign. And now he can just chuckle about how it's all destroyed.